We're going to do the parade of our 2 units.
It was very apt for today. It works very well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show that celebrates being a geek.
Yes.
My name's Jason.
And I am Michael, and happy Star Wars Day to you all. May the 4th be with you, and don't forget tomorrow, the Revenge of the 5th.
Yes. I keep on forgetting, though. Is there any way to tie in May 6th to this to try to make the trilogy work, other than it's Episode 6? That's the only tie-in I can think of, because I know 4 and 5. I can never think of 6.
Well, you could have the 6th works better with Sith than 5th does,
right?
Except for the TH thing.
True, but the whole thing with bringing the Sith into it is that implies there was a trilogy prequel.
Yeah.
So, kind of try to avoid that when I can.
Yeah. But because it's Star Wars Day, there's a lot of cool crap going on out there. I mean, Amazon's got this killer sale from, oh my God. Right now, if you happen to be watching it live, you can take advantage of this. If you're watching it on recording, you're probably screwed, and I'm sorry. But they have for Star Wars Day, they are Revenges of the Sixth. Very good. They have a deal on Amazon in their Kindle store where you can get the Dark Horse graphic novels for $1.99 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's like 50 odd titles in there. I grabbed 25.
I'm sorry that you said only 5, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the ticket. But they've got that going. They've also got some of the omnibuses that are a little more. They're $3.99, which when you consider that it's I'm getting the look. You heard nothing. The omnibuses are $3.99. Or would that be Omnibuy? Yeah, Omnibuy. The Omnibuy were $4.99 or $3.99 as opposed to their usual 20 odd bucks. I did not get those because I wasn't interested in that particular strain series. Or of the series rather. I'm
looking on Amazon website. They have a whole Star Wars store set up for today.
Yeah, they've got a lot of other stuff going.
It's going on for this entire week. Like right now.
Is it all week? Then dude, take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah, like 47% off the trilogies on Blu-ray and DVD, up to 52% off the Clone Wars Blu-ray and DVD sets. So they're about $23 to $28 a season.
It's a good thing this isn't middle of the month, because I would be broker than I already am.
And apparently you can grab all the Star Wars Lego games in a complete bundle for $24 right now. Just to be an enabler right there for you, you know?
Yeah, what Steam got going.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's something that well, if you remember, what was it? 2 years ago? I don't remember if we were doing the show or not by then. But I want to say 2 years ago, for their Star Wars Day, they had the Uber Star Wars sale on Steam, where you could basically get everything Star Wars for like $80. And I got I want to say 12 different Star Wars titles for $80, and some of which I knew I would never play, but others that I've played multiple times, and it was so. Yeah, there's a lot of for all your Star Wars needs.
Yes, but there is actually another bundle going on right now. I did have it at the end of the show, but you know what? We're talking about it right now. I'll bring it up right now.
Let's do it.
Joystick.com, joystick.com. Great video game news website. They actually are starting to offer their own gamer bundles. You know, and everything that they sell is actually redeemable through Steam.
What are they?
So they have a May the 4th bundle, which includes The Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, and Knights of the Old Republic, all for $16.50.
I already have them.
Yeah, see, I don't.
Those were included.
I know they were included in there. If you wanted to buy, if you don't want to buy the full bundle, you can buy them individually. Like KOTOR is $3.40.
That's. And you know what? Even though the graphics are a little old, that is still some incredible storytelling.
The story is incredible.
The storytelling in that is, 66% off Star Wars franchise.
Would you look through Steam?
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, okay. The Star Wars Collection 2014, which includes 14 items.
Oh my God.
Battlefront 2, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Hang on, let me go into the details here. Hold on.
How many games are we talking here?
Let's see. Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Starfighter, Clone Wars Republic Heroes, Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, Force Unleashed 2, Dark Forces, Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, cool. So that $339 though for the I may do that. No, that's KOTOR, not SWTOR. My bad.
Okay.
Let's see, Empire at War Gold Pack and Knights of the Old Republic 2, which is the only game in this list I don't already have. Well, that and Clone Wars.
There you go.
So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 games for a whopping, are you ready for it? $33.99.
That's tempting.
If you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't gotten these games, now's the time to do it. And a lot of these games are worth it.
Is it only for 24 hours or?
Yeah, 14 hours remaining.
Damn it.
So it says, offer ends in 14 hours, 37 minutes, and 30 seconds. Mark. So.
Okay, then. So I'm going to probably have to skip on that one, sadly. Oh, well.
Dude, money. It's only $34.
Yeah, it's $34 I don't have, Michael.
Oh, you'll make it work. I know how you are.
Shut up, you. Shush you. Remember, I made this work finally.
I need to enable you the way you used to enable me.
Okay, fine. Fair play. Aside from being Star Wars Day, which we'll get. What's up?
Star Wars Pinball. Sorry.
There was a Star Wars Pinball. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're offering it. Go ahead.
We'll get to the rest of the Star Wars news because there's a ton of news that was announced today. But this weekend also holds another holiday to some people. It's International Free Comic Book Day.
That was Saturday. Yes,
it was on the weekend. A number of places, depending on where you went, I was reading anywhere from had a selection of 5 free comics to over 50, depending on where you went. I'm guessing. Did you go to? What was Hypno doing for Comic Book Day?
Well, I didn't go for very long. Nikki worked it. But they had. I don't remember how many they had, but I know that they were so swamped. All of the free comics they had were gone in an hour, and they ordered double what they had last year.
Wow.
So, yeah, they were busy.
Jeez, that is crazy. Yeah, I was reading about some local places around here. Some did some, hey, we're having a barbecue or we're going to have a sale, but whatnot.
Don't tell me, Scott.
I saw the Hypno stuff, and I went, there's nobody reaching that fervor pitch.
Oh, I'm sure there are others in other areas, but not up here there wasn't. I mean, it was up here, that was pretty much the shebangy. Seth's Comic and Games had stuff going as well, and they had a pretty big crowd. At least when I drove by, I didn't stop in. So there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Okay. Yeah, I was busy with stuff going on all day, so I wasn't able to partake in it, but I have in past years. It's always a fun experience. Oh, okay. I love how Kubi's already in the chat saying it's all non-canon now. Well, we talked about this last week. My response is
non-canon doesn't mean bad stories. I mean, it's J.J. Abrams, which means timeline reset.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, if he pulls us an alternate universe bit in episode 7, I will be so pissed.
You and me both, my friend. You and me both.
I mean, you were able.
Yes, Yoda live.
Well, Yoda, speaking
call
about
you out on your bullshit, Yoda does.
Well, speaking of
bullshit and Yoda.
Yeah, bullshit and Yoda. Apparently Yoda is getting some of his own little series, I guess, a bit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Disney XD's been playing these for a while. They do little shorts for Lego Star Wars. They're actually, apparently with this new season coming out, they're focusing on Yoda. So it's called the new Yoda Chronicles. And we have a clip from an upcoming episode. Enjoy. You know, it could be fun.
It's Lego, so it's allowed to be goofy and non.
Exactly. I still laugh that just like just a few years ago, it was almost unheard of for any of the Lego games or anything to do with Lego and the media, that they would actually have speaking roles, and then they
well, yes and no. I mean, they kind of, the minute they released Ninjago, that kind of Ninjago and
Ninjago,
what was the other thing they did? The Bionicle series.
True, but I was thinking like from the games standpoint, 'cause like when they did like when they released
the games themselves, they don't talk.
Right, and then
it's all
right. They didn't start really having voice characters voiced until like what the DC the Batman game. I think it was.
I don't read. You know what? In the Batman game I played, they weren't talking either.
It must have been Batman the second one.
It may have been.
Yeah. And of course the new Star Wars one. Apparently there's also a Hobbit one being made now.
Well, there's a Hobbit one been made. There was a Lord of the Rings.
I remember the Lord of the Rings one. I think there's one being made for the Hobbit.
There was a Hobbit one, and now there's Desolation of Smaug. So.
Gotcha.
But it's the fun thing about the Lego games is they're chibi, they're cutesy, and they're irreverent. And like you actually got points for bitch slapping Jar Jar.
I remember that.
Okay. So
that was a good stress reliever at times.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I did. I just kept hitting him and see how many points I get. I did it for like 20 minutes before I got bored.
Well, that's not the only series that's using Star Wars characters coming to TV. We've talked about numerous times before Star Wars Rebels, and we've now have a full-length trailer for the series.
Do we actually get actual animation in this one?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Number one, what's with the Chibi R2 unit? Does it bug you as much as it bugs me?
Well,
I mean, I get the character designs and everything, but even in Clone Wars with the specialized character designs and everything,
right?
R2 looked like R2. I know that's not R2. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's a freaking astromech.
Yes, very true. And while they normally, they have some differences between the astromech to astromech, but overall they have the general same shape. That one kind of looked like they threw Mini-Me at it.
It's either been cut in half or it's fat. One of the two.
Comedic relief. It could be one or the other.
It's a bot with a weight problem.
Oh yeah, but
other than that, I'm curious about it. I really am.
I am happy to see it's just a minor thing that at the bottom when they showcased the title, that it actually has Disney and the Lucasfilm logo at the bottom of it. That was a nice little bit.
Well, since Disney owns Lucasfilm,
right?
It'd be kind of surprising if it didn't have it, since Disney's doing it.
True.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time,
it's just a nice little bit for me, because like at least they're recognizing that they're going to be still together as a group, just under the Disney name. I mean, they're not going to have as much autonomy as, say, Pixar.
Oh yeah,
but it's nice to see them like that. So, considering now that Disney will have, well, 2 series on TV, you have the upcoming just legions of movies that they keep on saying one's going to come out every other year or something like that, or every year.
Yeah, I think they were saying every year.
With the number of new books, all the comic books, the upcoming games.
They are going to milk this cash cow into the ground.
Yeah.
And if they're smart, they'll get a cadre of really good writers, and they'll build a proper mythology into the world. But
I'm just waiting for the announcement of Star Wars Land.
I've been waiting for that for years.
Yeah.
I'm actually half looking forward to that concept if they do it right.
As long as the way I look at it for this, something like that.
Come on, don't you want to hug your own Wookiee? Don't you want to run around and fly your TIE fighters and take out the bad stuff and good stuff, and I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
See, I would laugh my ass off if, like, whatever Star Wars land they create, or whichever park they make it at, there's an area of Coruscant, and you go through one of the alleys, and there's a guy in there trying to sell you bootleg copies of the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll open a thing in the desert and it'll be Mos Eisley. I don't know. It's
yeah. Well, we'll see how Star Wars Rebels turns out. I mean, the Lego Star Wars one's just going to be fun. We finally have official word on the casting for Episode VII. About freaking time.
Well, yes, they did finally post the full list. Although it's funny because it's like you already had the list, guys.
Yeah, we've known
just teasing us.
We've known all but a couple of these.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, the original, a lot of the original cast is coming back. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels, Peter Mayhew, and Kenny Baker.
What's funny is I don't see Kenny in that pick, and I like how they peppered everybody else across the room.
True. I mean,
they're not all huddled together.
Yeah.
And R2's still in his crate.
That was a nice little bit there. The new I can't even say new hires. The new people to the cast: John Boyega, God, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, Dornhall Gleeson, and I'm so happy for this one, Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow. I want to know who they're going to make him.
He has to be. Obviously, he's evil.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, come on.
Not necessarily.
With a face and voice like that, Max can only be...
Yeah, but you're giving... No, that's not true. Because just because he was Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon, and he's done bad guys, but he's done good guys too.
Mm-hmm.
And, what he did in... oh, God, I'm not going to mention that crap trap of a movie, but he was good in it. No, von Sydow... I was actually seeing him as a new, effectively Obi-Wan type character.
You think?
That's where I'd put him.
Well, it could possibly work that way. I mean, given the fact that this movie is taking place 30 years after the end of events of Episode VI, so. Well,
exactly, and which is, amusingly, is right in the middle. If they had kept with the original canon, puts it real close to the start of the Yuzhen Vong War. So if they decide that they're gonna, I mean, I know that they're redoing that everything else is now non-canon, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But the Yuzhen Vong War, or invasion rather,
true,
made for some pretty compelling storytelling.
That it could be a nice little bit, which makes me wonder how the one actor that I didn't mention in that first lineup, how he's gonna play a role in that possibility.
Well, they're also still adding names.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I wonder where he's.
That was the wild card.
That tells me that there's a fully CG character.
Yes,
because that's what Serkis is known for.
Serkis is known for
doing
that.
Virtual characters.
Yes.
I mean, he was.
But he is amazing at it. That's why he's like the go-to guy in Hollywood. Yeah.
He is damn good. You want a really alive mocap character? Go to Serkis. But I mean, because between Gollum and then Caesar, and he's done other stuff like that, but he's also acted well on his own. So
very true.
I'm curious to who's going to be who.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Before we get out of the Star Wars universe, I do want to mention one thing. It was mentioned to me by a friend. And I had to look it up because it just sounded very interesting. Regardless of what you're either reading, playing, watching in the Star Wars universe, throwing up the deflector shield is always no big deal. It's a flip a switch and hey, look, you have deflector shields. Well,
if your ship happens to have them, yes.
Right. Or if possibly shield generators on a planet's surface,
right.
Beaming up to the a planetoid, as you want to call it. But
right.
We always thought, okay, this is just sci-fi. It's okay, it's cool tech that we wish we had. Apparently, a group of students from the University of Leicester, I think it's called, published a paper that details a means by which plasma could be used to create a barrier around a ship, object, or any other device that can deflect certain kinds of energy. They found a way to make deflector shields actually happen in real life.
Awesome.
I mean, now granted, they basically, some of the scientific parts of it, they use the ionosphere as the seed for the hypothetical shield described in the paper.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. It could deflect electromagnetic radiation,
what ours does.
A directed energy weapon kind of like that. It does rely on high power magnets, so there's other parts you can actually use on this. The only downside to this is that
the energy to propel it.
Well, the energy to propel it, yes, but the other two parts, the shield works equally well in both directions. So if you have enemies blasting at you, it'll just bounce right off. If you try to shoot at them, it bounces right back at you.
Yeah.
And also the other part is you really can't see past the deflector shield.
So it's a priest bubble.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a pally bubble.
I was just like, wow, this is actually kind of crazy. There is a video on YouTube. Just do a search for the physics of Star Wars, and you'll actually find the video of it. It's actually fairly entertaining. All right.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all the Star Wars news, but we have plenty of other stuff to talk about.
Do we really?
I wanted to say this one part in passing. I know Microsoft a long time ago announced a Halo TV series. Initially, what's up?
I was under the impression they had killed that.
They initially started on a Halo movie project, which was actually axed. They still have all the pre-production work that the artists did for it. They announced a couple years ago at E3 they were working on a media division of Xbox to actually create original content, and Halo is one of them. And it's being, I think it was produced by Steven Spielberg's company.
Oh, Amblin?
Yeah. So they have
Is it Amblin or DreamWorks?
It's Amblin.
Okay.
But Amblin has a say in it. Well, it looks like they have some additional backing on this one, because we all thought it was going to be on the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and that's it. Mm-hmm. An article in Variety reported that they're working on a deal with Showtime to actually help develop the show and air it on Showtime as well as the Xbox One. Ooh. Which means we don't have to buy the Xbox One. Yay!
I do, because I don't have Showtime.
Oh, okay. So it looks like they'll be getting a little more financial backing, and if this goes through, we're just one step closer to actually having a Halo TV series,
which would be nice. Now, well, what about oh god, what was the one they released before Halo 4? Forward Unto Dawn.
Oh yeah, that the
that was a great show.
That was actually. It was
I actually was very
well produced, well acted. It looked great.
I mean, it was obviously low budget, but it was for low budget. It was
but
real
you know what,
good.
It doesn't need to be completely high budget for it to be effective.
No, exactly.
Now, granted, I mean, if they try to use like the in-game cinematics engine from the games, you start running into machinima right at that point.
Well, and there's no reason they can't if they get the tech high enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Things are getting that. I mean, just look at remember that technology demo for Watch Dogs that we showed.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So the possibility is there.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to see what happens with it. I mean, we're still at least a year away. I doubt they'll have anything at this year's E3. Maybe at next year's E3. We'll have some more news about it.
Although, speaking of machinima, Blizzard recently has been releasing steadily updates on the new models for inside of World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And the designers themselves, in the interviews, in the video blogs, were saying flat out, one of the things we're really looking forward to this is we want to see what the machinima artists do with it. Because now
that's a good point.
Because the facial expressions.
Oh, geez.
I mean, if you have you seen the comparisons between some of these things?
Yes.
You look at like the dwarves, and it's obvious there's more detail here. Mm-hmm. You can tell, but the facial expressions, oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that little nuance alone. The way they described it was before they were basically Muppets. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Now there's actual full facial stuff. So that should be cool.
So what I'm hearing is we take those and we try to do a live mocap, so it'd be just our own avatars instead of us on the show.
That's not entirely out of the question.
No, they're true.
There's stuff that'll do that already.
Yes.
It's not all fantastic. It takes a lot of processing power, but it's possible.
Yes.
And
things to look into the future.
May or may not work in Source Filmmaker. You make plugins for that.
That's good to know.
There's an app for that.
Okay, we have to talk about this bad news.
Yes.
Because it pissed me off. I know, Michael, it pissed you off. Fox, in their continuing genius of taking...
Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah, well,
okay.
Genius, insanity, sure, whatever you want to call it. I effing hate it.
Hollywood losing their damn mind.
Yeah,
although it's Fox, so it's not unprecedented.
Yeah, exactly. Fox decided to cancel Almost Human.
Yep, it's official.
So it's gone the way of... God, how many series has Fox canceled over the years?
The biggest one, Firefly.
Firefly, yeah.
I mean, once Firefly made it the same length as Firefly did. However, unfortunately for Firefly, the ability to do this wasn't really there or established yet.
Mm-hmm.
But for Almost Human, there is a petition out.
Yes.
I linked to it earlier this week in my Facebook. We'll link to it in the show notes, won't we, Jason?
Yes, we will.
We'll link to it in the show notes, and on if you're watching it on YouTube, we'll probably put a link in there in the description. Go sign this petition. Bring this show back. It's good acting, good writing, living, breathing universe. And as far as I'm concerned, there are a lot more stories to tell in this world.
There's a ton of more stories they can tell in this universe.
I would like to hear them, and I also like the fact that it's the precursor to Mega City 1 because it's got the big-ass wall and everything.
Yeah, there was a ton of speculation, rumors about that option. So, I don't know. It's...
Go sign the petition.
Yeah.
That's bottom line. Go sign the petition.
Well, technically, there are 2 petitions out right now.
I signed the change.org one.
That's the one to just bring back...
bring the show back.
Bring the show back. There's another one for the Sci-Fi Channel to pick it up.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I would. Sci-Fi Channel's done that before.
Mm-hmm. And they've had quality program in the past, like Eureka. Eureka, I was hooked on all
Eureka
the time.
was fantastic. Warehouse 13, albeit campy as hell, has a following.
Yes.
Continuum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's also been a fair share of crap on Sci-Fi.
Well, yes.
Like most of their original movies. I'm beginning to think that Metal Hurlant Chronicles is going to be that same way. But yeah, and also they've like their version of Being Human. Okay, yeah, it is a direct, almost shot for shot in the first season.
Yes.
Ripoff of the UK version. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah, true.
I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than the UK version for a lot of it.
That's
Not all
praise.
of it, but a lot of it. So yeah, I mean, Sci-Fi's got. I'd be okay with Sci-Fi picking it up because then at least it'd be in a place that appreciates it.
If Sci-Fi can get away from what they're doing, this whole like we're doing horrible B movies and we have World Wrestling Entertainment in as well. I'm like, what happened?
The wrestling entertainment's the part I really don't get.
It's like really we don't.
The B
need
movies. That. I can deal with schlocky B movies. Okay.
Bring back Anna Midnight. That's all I'm saying. Bring back Anna Midnight.
Yeah, bring back Anna Midnight and show the really dark, good stuff.
Yes, because, I mean, you look at Cartoon Network's Adult Swim and they bring back Toonami. They kill the demographic, several demographics on Saturday nights when Toonami's on. So Sci-Fi went, you know what, we're going to go a little more darker route and bring back Anna Midnight. Just don't bring back the Con Killer.
Don't bring back Con Killer Smile. And, but the thing is, what's really sad in that regard is Cartoon Network is being very smart and very annoying at the same time.
How so?
They're getting ready to run Attack on Titan.
It just started.
Yeah, minimally edited.
Yeah, I
am okay. Look, I get that Attack on Titan's good. I've seen some of it. I admit it's a good story. It's a dark story. I get that. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea.
And honestly, it's for me.
I'm sick of it.
I enjoyed it. It, to me, is the same as the Monica series. It was well produced. It had great scenes, great moments, but it didn't. To me, never lived up to the hype.
No, it didn't, and it's.
I know I may be crucified for that by saying Madoka is not the end all be all series. I'm like, it wasn't.
Dude, I wasn't I wasn't a big. You saw what I mean. I'm the one who went and saw the Madoka movie and hadn't seen any of the priors.
Right.
So
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir on that one, my man.
I know. But yeah, so we'll see what Sci-Fi does with it. If they pick it up, because Lord knows Fox will probably not do anything about it. I'd be happy with that.
The question is Fox going to be willing to let it go?
I mean, they might just hang on to it just for spite at that point.
Because they're dickish enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If they want their money. I mean, although at the same time, it's my dream of the studios playing nice in the Marvel universe may be coming one step closer to fruition, because I haven't seen it. So anyone who's gone out and seen the new Spider-Man movie, confirm this for me, please. Supposedly, it's for the Easter egg. There is reference to Spider-Man, or there's reference to not Spider-Man, Days of Future Past.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. So, if that's true, congratulations. Sony and Fox have just locked universes by doing that.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, and all the reviews from people that I know have seen it said,
well, it wasn't that fantastic.
Yeah.
Sony needs to stop making Spider-Man movies.
Me, Spider-Man never really was all that good in a cinematic sense to me.
Well, rebooting the old one, rebooting the oh god, what is his freaking name?
The Tobey Maguire one?
Tobey Maguire. Yeah. Rebooting the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, well, okay, it kind of jumped the shark in movie 3.
Which I never saw.
But I've only seen parts of it. When he went goth emo kid, it was like, oh my god, really? Although their version of Venom was pretty impressive visually. But the fact that it was Topher Grace was hilarious. But I expect him to go out and kick Red's ass or something. But the storyline prior to that, with James DeFranco as Osborn, and whatnot, that storyline up until movie 3 was pretty good. I really liked what they did with Doc Ock. Their version of Doc Ock was awesome.
Okay.
Have you seen the second movie?
The second movie I saw.
Did you see the first one?
I saw the first one.
I mean, Willem Dafoe was fantastic. Now you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sega. Willem Dafoe was fantastic as Green Goblin. Oh God, why can I not remember his damn name? Throw me the idler, throw you the whip. That actor who played Doc Octopus.
I remember you talking about. Yes.
Fantastic job. Fantastic actor. Fantastic portrayal. Movie 3, they took a shit. It's just.
And then I saw the reboot, the first one of the reboots.
How was it? I haven't seen it yet.
I'm glad I watched it on cable, because I would not
that bad, huh?
It did not appeal to me in the slightest.
Oh wow!
There was some decent action sequences, but you know how like in cinematic movies,
visual effects are easy these days. I mean, there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anybody 5-year-old bullshit. No, there's a lot of work. I get that, but good visual effects are kind of standard now these days.
Yes,
it takes something on the level of Avatar to holy shit, wow, OMFG somebody in the visual effects world these days.
It's just to me that the Spider-Man movies, even with the visuals and whatnot, there was a sense of believability that you would get in other comic book movies. I never got that in Spider-Man. Never ever got that in Spider-Man.
In the Tobey Maguire one, I did. I haven't seen the new Supes either. Now, admittedly, we're switching companies now. We're moving over to DC briefly.
Right.
But I haven't seen Man of Steel yet.
For what it was actually good.
I heard there was some weird tweaks in the storyline.
There were some very weird tweaks in the storyline for Man of Steel.
And what they're doing for number 2 for the Batman versus Superman.
Oh, we've already had our rage on that already.
Did we talk about Wonder Woman being from Krypton?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yeah. What the fuck are you people thinking? Oh my God! Oh, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that you question a lot of things, but we'll see what happens.
I am actually looking forward to Batfleck. I think Batfleck will be good.
I'll give him a shot.
I will give him. I know I'm weird. I liked him as Daredevil. Yeah, I really did.
Yeah, you are weird. I'm sorry, Michael.
As Daredevil. Now, that didn't stop the fact that the movie sucked, but Affleck was good. As the character of Daredevil, Affleck was good.
Okay. It's hard for me to look past the writing, but that's just me.
Well, see, and that's the trick, is you have to separate it from the writing, and he's good.
Okay. All right. Forget where the hell we were going with this whole conversation at.
Don't know, don't care.
Don't care. On. Moving on. All right. From Another's Basement Way.
That's right. We're keeping with tradition here, boys and girls.
Let's talk about some video game news.
Let's do that.
The Call of Duty franchise is fun. I picked them up a long time after their.
God. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, after they're popular, because I just want to play them for a little bit. They usually have a decent story.
I think I've got one, but I never actually played it.
Ah, gotcha.
I know I gave you one.
Yes, between this and the Battlefield series, they're still enjoyable. However, this next one, the next variation of the Call of Duty series,
they are stepping it up a notch.
Yeah, well, it was also the way they presented it, because they decided to focus on the antagonist in this trailer for the upcoming game, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And they picked one of the greatest actors of all time. They pick up Kevin Spacey.
See, you spoiled it. You should have played it and let him see it.
I don't care. Just for the sole fact
you should not have told him. You should have just played the trailer, let them figure it out for themselves, fix it in post. No, they went above and beyond. They got him. Do you have it queued up?
Yes, I do.
Play it. This is awesome.
Democracy? Democracy. Democracy is not what these people need. Hell, it's not even what they want. America's been trying to install democracies in nations for a century, and it hasn't worked one time. These countries don't have the most basic building blocks to support a democracy. Little things like we ought to be tolerant of those who disagree with us. We ought to be tolerant of those who worship a different God than us. That a journalist ought to be able to disagree with the president. And you think that you can just march into these countries based on some fundamentalist religious principles, drop a few bombs, topple a dictator, and start a democracy? Give me a break. People don't want freedom. They want boundaries, rules, protection from invaders and from themselves. People need a leader who can give them both the support and the constraints to keep chaos at bay. You give them that, and they'll follow. And that's where I come in.
almost enough to make me buy an Xbox One.
You don't have to, though.
It's going to be on PC.
Yes, Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4.
Dude, Kevin frickin' Spacey, okay? I mean, first off, it's obvious the character is well written just based off of that. If that monologue is the only depth of writing to this character, I'm going to be really upset because that monologue is incredibly well written, incredibly observational. It's missing a few swear words because it's Kevin Spacey.
But here's the thing, though.
And I bet you the actual version in the real game, he actually probably swears in it, and they probably edited those out.
I'm quite sure.
But he's obvious he's a well-written hero well-written villain. The best villains are the heroes of their own stories.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that little monologue right there, that's exactly what he is.
Oh, yeah. I also look at it as whoever decided to bring Kevin Spacey in sure was watching a hell of a lot of House of Cards.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Having Kevin Spacey in a game like this, playing this type of character, is right step number one.
Yeah, totally. Completely. Yeah, bringing Spacey on to play this role was a very smart move. And... oh, man.
You tie this into futuristic combat, which I'm a fan of. Yeah. You got me.
And it's near future combat.
Yeah, it takes place.
So it's obviously not set in modern day.
No, it's taking place in 2054.
Okay, so 2054. So a lot of that stuff's feasible. Although I have to make an observation. California has its own version of the Tokyo Tower. It's called the Golden Gate Bridge.
You know
how
destroyed.
In all the anime, Tokyo Tower continuously has a bad day.
Yes.
Although it finally got a break now that the sky tree's up. But now California, or West Coast, has its own version, and that version is the Golden Gate Bridge. It has been blown up and destroyed in, mutant movies, kaiju movies. Godzilla's going to be tearing it up again.
There are just some certain monuments that just beg to be destroyed in media.
And that's kind of the idea. Is a great way to establish a location and establish the magnitude of the trauma that's taking place.
Yes, very much.
You find an iconic thing for that country. That'd be like going to Red Square and demolishing it.
Yeah.
The magnitude of what would have to happen.
Well, then
for that to occur in Russia.
You get things like in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, when you blow up the Kremlin, like you said with Big Ben,
or they blew up the Kremlin, or G.I. Joe when they dropped the big ass dart and
they just took out
London.
All of London. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's So yeah, we have our own Tokyo Tower now. Congratulations, California.
There we go.
Congratulations, Bay Area.
All right. Well, when we go to wrap this up as we always do, Michael, what have you been watching or reading?
Oh, you don't want to talk about Godzilla and what the Japanese have been saying about him?
Do we need to talk about why they think Godzilla's fat?
I think it's awesome.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So they actually went around and they talked to Japanese people, asking them their opinion of the new Godzilla movie that's coming out, or at least the critter itself, which is admittedly light years closer to the original Godzilla. They basically took the original Godzilla and tried to make it a little more realistic. Unfortunately, the general response from the Japanese is, he needs to lose some weight.
But here's the thing, though.
He needs to hit the treadmill.
There are Godzillas from the 70s that were fatter than this Godzilla.
I know. It's like, my
God. Like, really? We're going to look into that? So you want your...
We're going to talk about the Godzilla that was raised on McDonald's? Hello?
I just find it hilarious
when I saw that.
Yeah, I look at it as, really? You're going to nitpick that?
Yeah, of all the things to nitpick, you're going for that one.
Because I can almost guarantee you that if this movie was a 100% Toho production, they'd be like, this is the end-all be-all Godzilla.
Well, of course it is, because it would be Japanese made.
Exactly.
Now, do you want to run the trailer before we wrap up?
We can. The new one?
Yeah.
The Asia trailer? Yeah. Why not?
Alice trailer reveals more stuff.
We
bring you more stuff.
That's a good way of putting it.
Because Godzilla is fat. He needs to hit the treadmill.
That's why he's hitting America first.
That's why he's going to America. He thought he was going to use Golden Gate Bridge's treadmill. Not so much.
He's gonna be the lead character in the Pain and Gain sequel.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Or he's gonna show up in the next PlayStation All Stars. You know?
Oh Jesus! All right, here's the trailer.
Okay, I'm gonna get giddy. Ro motherfucking Dan.
Yeah,
that's got to be Rodan.
That has to be
dude.
Rodan, yeah. Because that ain't Mothra. I can guarantee you that.
I guarantee you that ain't Mothra. No, I mean if they're bringing Rodan into the mix, or a variant thereof,
and there are
yes,
and there are a few other monsters that were shown briefly in that trailer as well. So
yeah, there was one that had that bug claw thing going.
So this kind of reminds me of almost like
Destroy All Monsters.
Like Destroy All Monsters, yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Well, if they do it right, if they just parcel these out a monster, a couple monsters at a time, there's a rich kaiju history with Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, you could also go back to Godzilla 2000.
Well, that or do you remember the video game that came out on the GameCube?
Yeah, I had it.
We have taken control of the world's monsters. That's what we do.
I would always pick up Mechagodzilla because he was just massively overpowered.
Dude, I play. He was pretty OP, but Godzilla, if you did his things right, if you powered him up right, that Godzilla was OP in that game.
Yeah,
serious OP.
That's true. It was still tons of fun because not only were you fighting other monsters, but you also were just destroying the city. Yeah,
and that was the biggest fun. I mean, you know, the only time I ever played SimCity was I got my city built up just to unleash the rubber monster on it. It's fantastic. So yes, that movie is coming out soon. I can't wait. I am excited. Days of Future Past is coming out soon too. We
don't have much time left before this comes out.
No,
we have
it's on its way.
We have like 12 days before Godzilla comes out, May 16th.
Yeah, day after payday. Oh, I am in line.
So are we like meeting up somewhere for this, or?
Dude, drive your ass up here. Let's go.
I was just thinking Man's Chinese IMAX for this thing.
No.
Come on.
You know IMAX gives me migraines.
That's true. But it's freaking Godzilla.
I know it's Godzilla, but I'm not going to give myself a migraine for freaking Godzilla. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's not the 3D that gives me the migraine. It's the actual. I mean, come on. Remember when we saw Tron?
Mm-hmm.
That thing killed me.
I remember.
I loved it, but it killed me. Anyway, so yeah, that's coming, guys. 2 weeks away. It'll take the bitter pill of Jamie Foxx as Electro out of your Shocker or whatever the hell his name was.
The jokes I could make right now. Let's just move on.
Yeah. No one expects the Shocker. Anyway. I thought you'd like that. Anyway.
What have you been watching, Michael, before we get really bad?
What have I been watching? I finally made it to season 5 of Clone Wars.
Nice.
So I'm getting there. I'm almost into the new stuff. I'm up to episode 4 of season 5.
Nice. Very nice.
It's amazing how much darker it gets as the seasons move along. Season 5 starts out with a rebellion movement on one of the separatist captured planets. And you see they're getting ready to obliterate or decapitate the king. Like they have the whole thing in process. They show the method that's going to do it. They've got him in place. They're about, and then of course, they come in and stop it. But people get shot, and you see, not just clones. You don't just see nameless clones getting shot. You see main characters for subplots getting killed.
Very nice.
You see one character who falls to her death in Ep 3, who's a major character.
I'm digging this.
For this subplot. She's not one of the overarching major characters, but she's a major character for the subplot.
Mm-hmm.
But they use that to use her as a rallying point. So, and it's really well written. And the more I look at it, the more I look at the lighting, it's like, bizarre character designs aside, their lighting in this game, in this show, I won't call it a game, sorry. Their lighting in this show is fantastic. What they did with Darth Maul, I'm not sure what to make of that yet. I can't describe it without going into spoilers.
Okay.
But suffice it to say that Maul's not dead.
Gotcha.
Cut in half, but not dead. Kind of like William Shatner's film crew. No,
Yeah, I'm still stuck on season 1, but now that I have access to Netflix again, that's probably going to be...
You need to marathon.
It's going to be caught up fairly quickly,
you need to do this.
especially now that Archer is done for the season. So
they finally added season 2 of Venture Brothers.
Nice. Very
Already got
nice.
that on Blu-rays or DVDs, so I'm not worried about it. But
gotcha. Of course, the problem is, like I said, showed at the beginning of the show, I finally was able to find a decent enough deal to actually pick up the Project Diva F controller, and I do have to say, after it took a couple of songs to lock it back in and remember how to play this game and actually get things going. Oh my god, it like literally after the third song, it was just like new high score, new high score, new high score, new high score.
Really, it enhances the play that much.
It really does.
Nice.
Now that being said, I'm still.
No, I got a birthday coming up this month. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's fun. I'll bring it up next time. So
cool.
But that's pretty much all I have been doing. I'm actually now a week behind on anime, so I have to do a binge watch pretty soon. So. Because I need to watch more of that Macaco City Actors. So
yeah, I need to get caught up on that too. Although I should only be like 1 or 2 episodes behind.
You're on episode 4 now, so.
Then I'm 3 episodes behind.
But that's pretty much for me. Other than, given the fact that it is Star Wars Day, already watched episode 4. We were halfway through episode 5 when I had to get ready for the show. We'll probably finish that, and of course, with episode 6. So.
Well, my big thing lately has been I pulled my BattleTech minis out of storage.
I did see that, yes.
And so these are things I haven't played with in 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to get back into the game again. So I pulled them all out, and I just realized how many. I was really big on black with highlight color paint jobs back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was also a horrible painter because that paint is on way too damn thick. And
what'd you do? You just toss it in the paint can. It's covered enough.
No, I wasn't quite that bad, but I did tend to glob it on pretty high. But I was just learning back then.
Okay, well there you
go. But the problem is trying to strip this shit. I soaked a mini in nail polish remover for 4 hours, and it didn't do shit. So
I have it splattered on.
Apparently, I don't know if it was the sealer that I put on it or what, but it just wasn't coming apart. So I finally get it into. I soak it in Pine Sol overnight. What's kind of cool is they fall in there and the shit's bubbling as it's eating the paint and loosening the paint up, and that's kind of cool to watch, but at the same time, it's really freaking creepy. So if you need to strip paint off of minis, don't do this with plastic minis. But you could soak it overnight in.
Do I have a picture
straight
of it?
Pine Sol.
I do have a picture of it.
Yeah, that's the one I posted on Facebook. As you can see, all that little things that look like bubbles, those are bubbles. Let's see, that's a Jenner 2C, a Marauder 2C looks like it's about to do surprise butt sex. What you can't see in the background there is the original Battlemaster that I had soaking in nail polish remover. I've gotten most of the paint stripped off of the Marauder, but it's just, it does the job, but there's a hell of a lot of labor intensive because it doesn't get into the nooks and crannies. So I am about ready to either go one of 2 ways. I'm either just going to say, fuck it, and buy some real straight acetone, get a little wire basket, and go, eat everything but the metal.
Which it would.
Which is what I wanted to do. Or there's some auto parts cleaners that that you can buy. That's literally, it's a bucket with a little basket. It's a container with a little basket that's designed for when you're rebuilding carburetors. The problem is getting it to take paint again after that. So
yeah, that's just that little tiny problem after that.
It'll get the paint off, but I don't know if I'll be able to get paint back on. So that's been my main project for the weekend. And another thing on the Star Wars May the 4th thing. If you play SWTOR, you only have a few hours left, but it's a double XP weekend in SWTOR this weekend.
That's right. You were telling me about that.
I told you about it. You had your chance.
I had my chance. Yes, I know.
So if you play SWTOR, go take advantage of that. Other than that, that's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. it was good times as always. Yeah, pretty much wrap up the show at that point. Hope you guys are watching, Star Wars. I mean, it's Star Wars Day. Why haven't you watched?
Did you see? Oh, well, I'll tell you about. I'll ask you about post show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't. If you haven't already, I'm sure you guys either have Star Wars on Blu-ray, DVD. If you have it on VHS, points and props to you. The original version, not the special edition version. Watch that.
How hard it is to find that.
Yeah, exactly. And the price when you do find it.
And if you happen to have the Laserdisc release of the original version, mega props to you. The only person I know who might have it would be David and maybe Burr.
If they
I'd see Burr having it.
If they have a copy of Star Wars on Laserdisc, I'm gonna be so jealous. But then again, I also have a copy of the Christmas special. So.
Oh my God!
Because you bring that out to annoy people. Hell, it's rumored that Carrie Fisher made George Lucas give her a physical copy of it, and she plays at the end of parties to make everyone leave.
See, I would actually sit around and watch it because
I can't sit more than 5 minutes at a time to watch it.
Look, I admit it was horribly produced, but it did add a bit of mythology.
So little, though. So little.
But we got to see Wookiees in their natural habitat.
Yeah, you saw them for about 40 seconds. Then it was the next 10 minutes was those little hologram things doing acrobatics on the table. Wait, Nightstar also has it on beta. Holy crap.
Holy crap. You win, dude.
I kind of want a picture of that. Kind of want a picture of that.
Yeah, I want Pixar doesn't exist.
Good times. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to wrap it up so you guys can go off and watch Star Wars, or you can watch the Simpsons Lego episode, which is tonight. I'll show the trailer for that in post-show. So, yeah. Stay tuned for post-show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out as always. You can catch us every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific. You can also catch At a Break for all your anime news every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, for From My Mother's Basement, I'm Jason.
I am Michael,
without
our lower thirds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, lower thirds. There we go. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.